the sugar factories. Number one, the leaders have politicized the industry for far too long, and we want it to end as soon as possible.
We are waiting for the process to start. We want to deliver cane to a mill which is going to operate to capacity and pay farmers.
Thousands of families that depended on sugarcane farming for a livelihood are still contending with the misfortunes brought about by years of mismanagement and plunder of public resources that has suffocated the industry. This comes even as Kenya National Alliance of Sugarcane Farmers Organization accused Lake Region Economic Bloc leaders of attempting to push the government to slow the leasing. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has however tasked all interested parties to be ready to invest heavily in refurbishing the ailing factories that have been put up for leasing.
Serious investors, worthy enough to be partners with the government in the revival of the sugar industry. I therefore take this early opportunity to invite you for the public opening of the International Expression of Interest scheduled to take place at the AFA headquarters on 4th August, 14 hours.
Speaking while unveiling the new guidelines and revival strategy that involved addressing the litany of mismanagement woes that has crippled operations in the sugar sector, Munya said that lack of regulation led to confusion and chaos in the industry.
The roadmap for implementation and the schedule of the new requirements that players must comply with start today. The schedule has 3 milestones. The first milestone is what must happen immediately, and this covers all the requirements that can be complied with immediately.
The millers targeted for the long-term lease model, which will transfer the right of use of each factory to the lease, are Chemelil Sugar, Miwani Sugar in receivership, Moroni Sugar also in receivership, Nzoia Sugar and South Nyanza Sugar companies.
There will be penalties for failing to comply with the requirements. These penalties include suspension, revocation, or variation of licenses and registration certificates. The most egregious violations will attract charge and prosecution under the Crops Act and the tea regulations.
Tea farmers will also now operate under new guidelines, with the tea regulations taking effect today.
Every Kenyan knows the suffering the tea farmers have gone through over the years, and I would expect the courts also to be supportive in terms of helping resolve the issues that are affecting the farmers instead of continuing to support the status quo that has been abandoned on the tea, especially the small-scale tea farmer in this country. I want to announce now that, having given them all that time, I want to announce that the tea industry regulations are now ready for implementation. I have seen this before. The journey on which we are embarked in the tea industry is driven by the government's unwavering commitment to address the persistent problems that have bedeviled the sector.
Linda Koskei, K24 Business.